Wait, don't you have that little secret about when you used to do your screams?
This stays in this room. Okay, so every now and then I just know to myself for when I go, moon cosmic pout! And I'd be like, oh, a little tiny fart would come out. Maybe audible, maybe not. I am quite sure that if you listen back to some scene that it's in there somewhere. And of course I couldn't say anything, right? And luckily I was all by myself and I'd be like, oh, God, I hope Katie's in here next.
Yeah, she wouldn't, and I was.
Because then I used to wonder, go in there, right?
I used to wonder, what did Linda have for dinner? Hot dogs? Pretty gross. Getting faint, feeling a little sick here. No, but I'm actually, she does this because, you know, she bugs me. But I'm a paranoid person, so anytime I hit the stand or anything happens or my shoes make a noise or anything, I'll always say, that was my shoes. And I'll just make sure that the engineer and everybody in the room, and they'll be like, what? I said, well, you heard that noise, that wasn't me. That was my shoes. Or I hit the stand, just, that was not. And you know, anyway.
Any other questions?
What actually like sparked your interest in
Well, I started, and I still do, on-camera stuff, and I had no idea, and it was just a fluke. And Sailor Mars was my very first TV series ever, and a friend of mine, Reno, actually said, you have to audition for this, and I had no idea what it was. And then when I got in there, because it was such an intense experience for everything, and you just walked away thinking, wow, I'm exhausted, I'm excited, all these things, like this is the best thing ever. And so I think Sailor Moon was definitely my very first experience with voiceover, but I was madly in love. I said, this is it, I'm gonna be doing this. I can tell that I can do this. And my very first, and then I promise I'll pass it off, but my very first, and then I thought after this, oh, I better get a demo together, and I did the 12 Days of Christmas in 12 different voices, and then they laughed at me and said, oh, that's great, Katie.
Don't forget, we're just like you guys too, right? Like we watched cartoons as kids growing up, and we had people that influenced us watching these cartoons. Like certainly Bugs Bunny was huge. I loved the Jetsons. Oh God, did I love the Jetsons so much. But we'd hear all those voices on that too, and just go, oh, I'd love to do that. Oh, that sounds so cool. I'd love to do that. And so when we got a chance, like for me, when I got a chance, it was just like, this is really cool. If you think it's the best job in the world, voice acting, it is, bar none. It's the best job. I love it.
I think that it is one of the best jobs in the entire world, if not, when you can get it. And so, you know, it's funny, we're sitting here, and you all have been so very, very kind, and you're asking questions, and you're giving us feedback that's really, really positive, and it's wonderful. And you have to know that despite however many projects we've worked on that have been successful, and some have been less successful, we still, on Monday morning, will go back to Toronto and we'll audition for something else. Because you never, ever, ever can rest on your laurels. You can never rest on what you did last year or last week. You can go in there and say, well, look at this following that I have for such and such a project. And they'll say, we don't care. What you have to do is you have to come in here and you have to read for the characters in our project. And we'll tell you if we like you or if we don't. So it's a really interesting existence. You never, ever, you're always humble. Let's put it that way. None of us has a big walking ego. We really don't. We're really nice people. No, you'll find really good actors don't have these big egos that, you know, precede them into the room. They're so big. So in a way, what my theater school teacher always used to say, an actor's job is looking for work. When he finds work, he's on vacation. And that's exactly how I feel. So when on Monday morning, I'll go to an audition. My agent has one all lined up for 9:05 on Monday morning. I'll go in and I'll read for that part. And if I get that part, I will be on vacation. So that's the way we live. It's an interesting thing, and you have to be ready to know that you'll never know anything. You'll never know if you're going to be secure that year or the next year. You just have to hope and believe that you will be. So it takes a leap of faith, and it takes an incredible belief in yourself. Either that or you're just too stupid for words. So sometimes I say to myself, because my friends say, you don't know how much money you're going to earn this year? Like, really? And I get, no, I have no idea. It could be $10, it could be $1,000, it could be $50,000. I have no clue. And everyone says, how do you live like that? And I say to myself, I don't know, but I do. And the other thing I know is that when I go in on Monday morning to read for that part, I'll walk out of there and I will forget every ounce of it. It will not stay with me. Because if it stayed with me and I went home and I thought, oh, I should have done this, I didn't, second guessing yourself, or, why didn't I do that voice? It would have been perfect. If I start to do that, I'll make myself into a basket case. So what I do when I walk out, I say to myself, self? I do talk to myself, I know it's very bad. Self, did you do your best job? And I say, yeah, to the best of my ability, that was the best I could do. Good, let's forget about it. And on I go. It's gone, it's done. So if my agent phones a couple days later or a week later and says, hey, you booked such and such, I always say, what was that again? What was it? Was it a nice part? And he goes, you don't remember? I say, nope, I don't remember. I put that one right out of my mind because I want to stay healthy in my mind, right? So sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And it's all based, as I said, on belief in yourself.
First of all, Susan, there's nothing wrong with talking to yourself. For myself, I dance with myself.
Okay.
Yeah, I did it last night.
Do it. We'd like to see a little tuxedo mask dancing.
With yeah.
Not a chance. And H-E, double hotties.
Wow. Just the...
I have the part.
No, I gave up the stripper pole years ago. My hands no longer smell like brass. I'm living on the up these days. Be proud for me. I don't know. No dancing. Don't touch the dancer.